Welcome to the Village Vision podcast, where community collaboration and care converge. I'm Dr. Crystal Morrison, and I'm honored to be your host on this incredible journey. As a firm believer in the power of a united village, I'm thrilled to bring you inspiring stories, research, and projects that break down barriers in child and family care. Through heartfelt conversations with experts, advocates, and those with lived experiences, we'll showcase the transformative impact of collective support. So join me on the Village Vision podcast as we explore the remarkable collaborations that lead to better outcomes, foster a sense of community, and inspire action to improve care for ourselves and everyone around us. True North Disability Planning. True North's mission is to help their clients navigate the disability planning landscape, informing them of what they may be eligible for, how to apply, and how to keep those benefits. Eric is also the co-host of the Bullied Brain podcast, where he and his co-host talk about how abuse and trauma impacts our brains and how we can work to heal from trauma. So welcome, Eric.
Thank you, Crystal. It's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Well, as everybody can tell, I'm a little bit losing my voice today, but we soldier on, don't we, Eric? we soldier on. So you and I have had the opportunity to talk on a few different occasions, and it's no secret that you and I could jam about all kinds of different stuff. But we won't go there. We'll try to stay on task. We'll try to stay focused for this podcast.
So I retired from the Navy back in 2012. I was supposed to retire in December, or I was supposed to retire in June. I ended up retiring in December because my wife got sick in April. Sick in March, passed away a week later in April. That whole time frame just kind of, and you know how things go when there's a crisis, everything blurs together, right?
Yes, so, I do.
She got a real rare disease, spent a week in the ICU, took her off life support, and then just tried to figure out my new normal. When my wife passed, she had been the full-time caregiver of my son. My son was 12 at the time. He is autistic. He's got some other challenges. And prior to that, I was a geo-bachelor. So I would be gone and come home every 3 or 4 months, come home for 2 or 3 weeks and be gone again. I was so immersed in the disability space, I never thought I'd be there. And being on your podcast and talking about the disability advocacy and things that we've talked about, it's really unreal how your life can just take a major shift. And I'm sure you've had this with your other guests. More often than not, the people that are most heavily involved in disability spaces because they've been personally affected,
because they've lived it. Yeah, they've tried to navigate it and gotten very frustrated.
Yeah, so I mean that's how I got to where I was and where I am now. The reason I'm saying this is it's not like Crystal and I have it all figured out and everything just falls into place for us.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
I mean, but sometimes it can look like that, right? If you're on the outside looking in, and it's like you look around your house and you're like everything's on fire. But I go online or I'm listening to a podcast and they've built this company and they're doing well, and I just wanted to let people know there's stuff happening behind the scenes too.
Yes. I mean, you right now at this moment have things going on in your home behind the scenes. I right now at this moment and over the past several weeks have had significant family crises going on that you and I haven't talked about yet, but so it doesn't turn off. And the other thing that you and I've talked about before, even though we have spent a lot of time individually navigating the system of care and figuring some things out, it is still completely and totally overwhelming for me individually, and I'm sure you individually. You're just talking about the challenges you're having with your son and getting placement. Just because you have a disability planning resource guide for every state in the United States, which, by the way, if you're listening, they're absolutely amazing. That is a resource guide, but doing all of those things in the resource guide also take time. It takes an insane amount of time coordinating care and talking to different people. And it's utterly exhausting. And it's different in every state. But it is, even when we have those support systems, even when we know about the system of care and theoretically how to navigate it, it's still hard to ask for
Yeah.
help.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
know?
my fiance is in this world. She runs the residential program of a different county. She's with
Mhm.
the ARC of Montgomery County, and she
Oh yeah,
runs,
yeah,
you know, so she knows this better than I do. I mean, in terms of what I'm trying to do with my son.
sure.
And yet when she offers to help, my first reaction is almost to bite her head off because no, I've got this. And it's like, wait, Eric, what are you doing? I mean, seriously, man.
Yeah. She does know what she's doing. Yeah,
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 it's just
yeah.
that I guess for me it comes down to I've got to have the answers. I'm this national resource. What do
Yeah,
you mean I can't help my own kid?
yeah,
That's how it feels. I mean, I know
yeah,
how
yeah.
ridiculous on the
And here we are today because of very real needs and challenges we faced in our life, doing something completely different and unexpected. I mean, I never would have thought that ever,
in
but
industries that
here
are
we are.
so that in industries that are so differently funded, right? In the defense industry, there's money out the
Sure,
gazoo.
sure, sure. So I wanted to, I know we're going to have to start to wrap up, but um, tell us a little bit more about these disability resource guides, because for those of you who are listening, I want you to go to his website, truenorthdisabilityplanning.com. There is a disability resource guide for, I think, every state in the United States that gives in-depth details about the resources in those states and how to navigate the system of care. He has every single one of these resource guides available on his website for very, very, very reasonable fee. And they're absolutely something that you can use to inform yourself, to, as he said, take to different people that you're working with to get more information, to force them to tell you about things that maybe you don't know about. So this is an incredible resource that is available, that honestly I have never seen anything like it available out there, and that the amount of work that's gone into this is really tremendous, and there's no other resources again like this. Today is November 30th that we're recording the episode. This episode will come out in February of 2024, but today, November 30th, is the launch of our new book called Superheroes on the Spectrum, where we talk about the not only awareness of neurodiversity, but acceptance and also celebration of the gifts that neurodiversity has brought to a lot of our lives, and how it's given us a different lens to see the world. Wonderful. Well, thank you for joining us on this episode of the Village Vision podcast. I hope you found inspiration and valuable insights from our conversation today. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate, leave a review, and share. But thank you. Thank you for being a part of the Village Vision podcast on Word of Mom Radio. Take care, and let's keep shining a light on the power of community, collaboration, and care.